I'm Kate Forrester.
And I'm the Prime Minister, and I'm here at ECU Broadcasting.
And we're in Albany announcing
an upgrade to the NBN. Who knew fibre was better than copper?
Good morning, this is Kate Forrester with your ECU News Update. Police have charged a 45-year-old Banksia Grove man with failure to stop in an alleged hit and run involving a man riding an electric bike on Sunday. The 86-year-old, who was riding on the Mitchell Freeway, died at the scene around 4:50 a.m. Mark Reddings knows he was very lucky to escape death when the blast first exploded at the Sari nightclub.
We had one drink, and after that I suggested to the guys that we go to Paddy's, which was obviously sort of diagonally across the road.
But still in Coota, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, it was about a 15 metre, 20 metre walk, so it was really close. So we walked in there, my cousin Todd and his girlfriend went to the bar. I went back out to the front of the Sari Club, and then as I walked back in, I sort of caught a glimpse of Todd and Charmaine sitting at the bar, and then the first bomb went off, which was the suicide bomber. So off the back of that, I was probably the last person to walk into Paddy's.
The sports reporter was on a family holiday. It quickly changed into the biggest story of his life.
Last Saturday was just a normal evening here at Coota Beach. Within seconds, we were rocked by an enormous explosion.
What impact did this event have on you, not as a journalist, but as a person?
Initially, I don't think it made me a better person, because perhaps I didn't see enough of a counsellor to go through the process of it. So probably initially not a better person, maybe short-tempered. And my wife said I was emotionally distant, which seems a bit strange. I was preoccupied with maybe just dealing with it internally instead of talking about it.
But Mark will not be thinking about himself today.
Just a massive explosion.
I will be thinking of them primarily, apart from anyone else, because they're the ones that are hurting far more than what I am. I'm one of the fortunate ones who are here to tell the story.
The enduring thought for me is actually on my left-hand side, running through, seeing people with blood across their shirt, on their face, people lying on the ground, obviously fatally wounded.
Damon Brimson was in the Sari Club on the night of the explosions as part of the Kingsley Football Club end-of-season trip. 7 of the 20 teammates never made it home. 20 years on, the strength of the club still remains.
Just to reflect on the mates that we lost, and not just our mates, but the 202 people that passed away in Bali that year. But just for me personally, just to be with my wife and my kids that are my rocks through the whole lot, the last 20 years.
Kingsley's number 7 footy jumper has been retired in honour of teammates lost. Kate Forrester, ECU News. Albo in Albany. On his 8th visit to our state this year, the Prime Minister touched down in the Great Southern region to announce a $2.4 billion upgrade to the national broadband network in regional WA households.
That an additional 1.5 million premises can be connected up to fibre-based NBN services.
The NBN will be expanding their services to a full fibre network, with Albany's current reliance on copper connections leaving residents frustrated with slower internet speed.
You need fibre-based broadband in order to deliver the high speeds that are required in order for people to work from home, in order for businesses to flourish and be connected up with their customers and clients around Australia and around the world.
Local Albany resident and business owner Mark Weller says the upgrade to the network creates more opportunities.
Being able to operate a business around the state from your own hometown is extremely exciting, and I think having our Prime Minister and our government being right behind us is just amazing.
Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said fixing 9 years of neglect on the NBN network service overnight is near impossible. But the Labor government is promising to deliver 21st century services to rural and remote areas ahead of Tuesday's budget.
You don't need to be an engineer or an expert to know that copper is not as good as fibre in carrying information across distances. Success.
Kate Forrester, ECU News, Albany. I'm Kate Forrester, coming to you from the Kings Park Bali Bombings Memorial. The memorial behind me has been designed specifically so that in the morning the sunlight beams through the gap and hits the names of the 88 Australian lives lost tragically all those years ago.
Live from Edith Cowan University's Mount Lawley studios, this is ECU News. Tonight,
A shocking morgue mix-up.
Class action over kids in Perth jails.
Optus hack scam, charges laid.
Hello and welcome to ECU News. I'm Jesse Donnelly-Jones.
And I'm Kate Forrester. Also tonight, the sun shining on Fremantle's newest recruit. A 19-year-old has been arrested and charged after he allegedly attempted to misuse stolen Optus data in a text message blackmail scam. The man charged was arrested by the Australian Federal Police in Sydney this morning.
20 years ago, with this event, the window to my world opened.
Guys, this is horrendous. I've never seen anything like it.
The Bali bombings brought so much misery. 2 decades on, Professor Fiona Wood still remembers the impact the explosion had on her own team, but is seeing the positive her revolutionary burns treatments brought her sufferers.
We've been working really hard for many years, developing things, innovating, trying to treat burn patients always better, always learning from today to make tomorrow better. And all of a sudden, that window to our world opened and people wanted to know what we were doing. And so it was a spotlight that has never gone down, never sort of been really put back to sleep.
Megan Basioli is also here.
After being involved in the attacks, survivor Megan Basioli's career choices were easy.
After spending such a long time in hospital, and even initially after the Bali bombings while in Bali, one thing that always stuck out to me was how kind and helpful people can be in times of tragedy, and that is just something that I've always wanted to give back.
Katanning, a gateway to the Great Southern. Home to the largest undercover sheep sales yards in the Southern Hemisphere and the iconic all-ages playground. On first glance, Katanning is an agricultural centre with it all. But the more time you spend in the supertown, you will realise that it's not just the sheep yards or the slides that make it unique. It's the multicultural community within.
Katanning means meeting place. It is the original word. Katanning means meeting place.
Alip Mighty migrated to Katanning with his family in 1974 from Christmas Island amidst a drive by the local abattoir for Muslim Australian workers. Today, Alip is a local business owner.
I always dream of a little coffee shop there where I sit like the Italian would sit down with a cup of coffee and chit-chat with people. It's not just curry puff or not just hamburger or beef burger. Daily Grind needs to promote Katanning. If you see a secret recipe, like KFC.
As well as owning and managing the popular Daily Grind Cafe, Alip is Imam of the Katanning Mosque, a former Shire councillor and a proud advocate of the people and cultures within Katanning.
Past, say, 40 to 50 years that we have been here, it's not issues, negative issues in relations to religious or race.
People in Katanning very friendly people, mix, get along with people very easy.
As soon as you enter Katanning, you're met with a diverse selection of flagpoles, proudly displaying the array of nationalities living in this town of around 4,000 people. Katanning Shire President Liz Gadira says it's an extremely worthwhile project.
20 flagpoles, and because we have over 40 nationalities, they're rotated through It's a great, really visual symbol of how diverse Katanning is when you drive in.
With the influx of Christmas Islanders and Muslims, a mosque was built in 1980 after years of collecting small donations from the community. When the doors to the mosque first opened, Alep said they also felt like they were opening another door to the fear of the unknown.
I think it's, first thing, it's fear of, fear of newcomers arrive here of different culture, of different background and different belief to the Christianity religion. And it took us from 71 until 76 onwards, from that period, for us to establish who we are.
In the Aboriginal language, the word for Katanning is Kaatnini, meaning big meeting place. For an agricultural town built on acceptance, love and understanding, it seems like the perfect translation.
They all come here for one purpose, wanting to know, what's Katanning? Why Katanning? And each day, I see here, it's all of my friend. And I mean, you talk to someone on the street, he's my friend. And friendship comes from your heart, being who you are, not being, I'm of different color or religion. Accept it, who I am and the person is, and learn from them. Like, I want to be your friend. And that's what it is.